I'm joined at this stage by the Police Commissioner of Pune, Mr. Aniket Kumar. Thank you, sir, very much for being with us. There's a lot of questions which are being asked, so we have some fairly basic questions. Firstly, was alcohol found in the bloodstream of the 17-year-old who's been accused of these deaths?
The blood report of the accused has still not come. It has gone to the forensic department. We are expecting it shortly. We are trying to have the blood report expedited. But I was just listening to some of the comments earlier. I would like to tell you that firstly, in the first 24 hours, the Pune Police did whatever best we could have done. The most stringent path that was possible within the legal framework was taken. Just to briefly mention it, number one, the non-bailable section of 304 IPC, which is culpable homicide not amounting to murder, was applied in this case in the forenoon of Sunday, the day of the accident itself. We had moved an application to the Juvenile Justice Board saying that this is a heinous crime as defined under Section 2 of the Juvenile Justice Act, because 304 IPC entails punishment of more than 7 years. We moved an application saying that as per Section 15 of the Juvenile Justice Act as amended after the Nirbhaya incident, it allows trial of a juvenile as an adult if he has committed a heinous crime, and hence we requested for permission to try this accused.
No, I understand that, sir. But I'm just trying to understand, Mr. Kumar, when was his blood test? When was his blood sample taken? How soon after he was caught drinking or potentially drinking in that bar? Because there's video of that.
The incident had happened in the early morning hours, the late night hours of the of Saturday, Sunday.
Yes.
His blood test, he was taken for the medical examination in the early morning hours of Sunday, and his blood was taken. The blood has been sent for forensic report. But I will tell you here, please understand the legal provision. Here we are not applying a case of 304A of drunken driving and a rash and negligent act. Here we have applied section of 304 IPC, where we are saying that he had the knowledge that his rash act, where he was driving a Porsche car without a number plate at a rash speed on a narrow street after consuming alcohol. He had the knowledge that it would cause or likely to cause death. And here we are applying 304. We have CCTV footages from the establishments that he was consuming alcohol. We have the online payment bill receipts where he has paid money for whatever.
But are you concerned, sir, that the blood tests may come out negative, because the time in which the blood tests were taken was several hours on the basis of what you're saying after he was caught drinking. Is that right or wrong? I'm just wondering.
I don't think that the blood report would come negative, but just understand that in spite or despite of whatever the blood report is, we are trying to prove a case of culpable homicide not amounting to murder, where there is a knowledge that this act would cause. In fact, if you go to the bail order which the Juvenile Justice Board passed on the first day, that is Sunday afternoon, the accused has taken a plea that he is addicted to alcohol. So he is also trying to say that he is addicted to alcohol and he is an alcohol addict. So the point here is that irrespective of what the blood report is, I will add that still we are sure that the blood report would contain alcohol, but in spite or despite of the blood report test, whether it has alcohol or it doesn't have alcohol, the point is that we are trying to prove that he was fully in senses to know that this rash act of his is likely to cause death. Here, the knowledge in full sense, the accused was in full sense, knowing that this act is likely to cause
was under the influence of alcohol, Mr. Kumar, then would he be in his senses? Isn't that part of the argument that the police might be looking at? That here was a man, a boy, who was apparently drunk, right? And you just mentioned that he has a history of apparently drinking, right? So would he have been in his senses?
That is what we are trying to say, that he was in his senses to have the knowledge that this act is likely to cause death. There were two other.
But how would you be in your senses if you were drunk?
there are two, three things. Drinking alcohol doesn't mean you are out of control.
Okay.
We are trying to say that he had consumed alcohol. Being an underage person, he had consumed alcohol, but he was in senses full enough to have the knowledge that the act of his is likely to cause death. This is our basic contention.
All right. So fair enough. Fair enough. The next point I want to ask is, despite the plea made by the police and despite the appeal which you filed before the Juvenile Justice Board, ultimately it is the Juvenile Justice Board that will decide, right? It's not what a court says. As I understand it, the court has told you to go back to the Juvenile Justice Board.
Yeah, the Sunday order of the Juvenile Justice Board, where it said on our application to try him as an accused, it only mentioned seen and filed. And subsequently on our report that till the decision on the adult application is taken, please remand him to the remand home. This was rejected and bail was granted. We immediately filed an appeal on Monday before the district court. It came up before the court today, and we were advised to go back to the Juvenile Justice Board, because under section 104 of the Juvenile Justice Board, the board has the power to review and modify its orders.
Okay, so let's see what finally happens, sir, in the Juvenile Justice Board.
We are very, very optimistic. We are very, very optimistic that we will, firstly, number one, we will have him remanded to the remand home till our application on trying him as an adult is
No, I understand that. But, sir, there are other issues over here. Perhaps, as important as the fact that this child was involved in this horrific crime, and that is the role of the parents. That is how this car apparently didn't have a license plate number. In terms of culpability, what about the role of the parents, possibly the father?
Exactly. On Sunday itself, we registered offence under section 75 and section 77 of the Juvenile Justice Act. I would say probably this would be one of the first or very few instances where a separate offence has been registered under section 75 and 77 of the Juvenile Justice Act, where we have charges against the father that he, knowing that his son was a juvenile, handed him over a Porsche car without a number plate, provided him money and all the resources, and facilitated him to go to a pub and party. And then the pub owners and establishments, for having served liquor to an underage, we have proceeded under section 77. We have arrested 5 accused, including the father, who will be produced before the court tomorrow. 3 accused, the pub owners, were produced before the court today.
What about the other occupants of the car?
We have got 4 days of police custody remand.
Right. What about the other occupants of the car? What have they said?
The other occupants of the car, who too are minors, we are taking them as a witness for the time being. We are examining all the details, and they are till at this moment they are witness for us in this particular case. I would also like to just briefly add one thing, because there was a repeated mention that what did the Pune Police do for the first 24 hours? I would say that the first 24 hours, Pune Police did whatever best it could do. The most stringent possible path was taken by the Pune City Police. And I, in fact, go on to challenge that if any legal expert are willing, I am open for any such debate any panel could suggest.
You make that point very forcefully, sir. And I think at the end of the day, it's just the process of justice which is most important, which brings me to my final set of questions. The lawyer of the accused says the boy driving the car is just an allegation, and that itself needs to be investigated. I know that this is a lawyer's job to provide arguments. My question to you is, you have direct, clear evidence that it was this 17-year-old who was behind the wheel?
100%. Okay. We are making out a watertight case. We have evidences, technical evidences, coupled with corroborative evidence to make a watertight case to have this accused punished under the relevant sections of law.
On the larger issue of, in fact, something which the Chief Minister said, that he would act, and I presume this is Maharashtra-wide, against bars serving minors in your own city, quite apart from this crime. Is that something you are already doing, ensuring that this is complied with?
Yes, 100%. We are going to go all out against this particular issue. I would say that this action under Section 77 against the pub management is itself a big deterrent, and we are going to go forcefully from the next today itself. We'll go forcefully to try and ensure that minors do not enter these pubs and are served with liquor.
If this boy is treated as an adult and is accused, he's accused, but and is found guilty, what could he be facing in terms of jail time, sir?
It's a life imprisonment under Section 304 IPC. So it's extremely a serious offence. It's in fact just a step below 302, which is murder. So it is extremely serious offence, and we are making out a watertight case. Two innocent lives were lost, and we are extremely sensitive to it. We shall take whatever resources at our command or whatever legal assistance we require in terms of special counsels, etc. Sure. We are going to make out a watertight case and have this case.
And what about the father, sir? Potentially, if he is found guilty by a court, what does he face?
In this case, the punishment under Section 75, the relevant section, it has punishment for 10 years imprisonment. We shall be making out a strict case against the father and the pub management as well.
All right, Mr. Kumar, thank you very much, clarifying all those details in this particular case. The senior officer in Pune, the Director General over there, thank you very much, sir, for being with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.